Yeah, you already know what it is. It's Mr. Sam Lopez. You're listening to Honey, Healthier Options, Nutritional Insight, the podcast right here on the website. So we're here. Wherever you're listening from, there you are. And there you have it. So today on this podcast, we're going to be talking about the top 10 ways to your healthiest life. It's time. I was going through my posts and looking at my friends to see what they were doing for the new year. And we're still in the beginning of the new year. If you're listening to this podcast for the first time, we're still in the beginning of the new year. So you still have time to get your health wave back. And I'm telling you, it's possible. So we're going to be talking about the top 10 ways to your healthiest life. So while I was looking through those posts, I saw, a friend of mine from Florida. Over here, I'm in the Northeast. I'm in Pennsylvania, but my boy from Florida, he was talking about, he's starting to eat well again. He said it's time to get his health wave back. And I agreed. And then he took a picture of a plate of what he was eating. So I was like, yeah, that's right. Let's talk about the ways we could eat our way back into health. And we're going to hit you with that today on the podcast. So what's up to all the Honey fam, H-O-N-E, Honey fam. And, we're here. And for listening today, I feel generous because, in my church, we're going through a series about generosity, the generous life. So I feel generous. So for you listening, all you got to do is this. I'm giving away a free habit tracker just for subscribing to my podcast. And if you're following me on the Honey Facebook page, the information will be there as well. So wherever you could subscribe to this podcast, do it. And then connect, communicate, send a text message, inbox me, a messenger, however the site is responsive, wherever you have this podcast. And I'll send to you a free habit tracker just for subscribing to my podcast. If it's free, it's for me, that type of deal. So, it should be all good on that end, right? So let's get into it. Let's get into this list. Because there's something about when a new year starts, we make resolutions. I stopped making resolutions. I don't make resolutions no more, man. I'm done. Because I already know me. Probably like the second or third month into the year, I'm already done. And I'm already retracting, reversing. I'm already going backwards. So I don't make resolutions no more. I make decisions, small decisions, daily decisions based on my health, based on my wellness, based on my wealth. So I just make the little decisions daily. So when it comes to resolutions, I don't focus on those things no more. What I focus on is daily. I mean, you can have resolutions, but what I focus on is daily habits, daily decisions. So I don't know if you can stick with a resolution, but I can't. So, we're going to go through some top 10 ways to your healthiest life. So when you look back at your last resolutions, if you're down with the resolutions, you probably managed to keep those things for about the first 2-3 months of the year, tops. And I'm not a big fan of resolutions, but if you are, it's all good. As long as your resolutions are reasonable. Now, if you're going to say I'm going to lose 150 pounds in 6 months, I don't think that's reasonable. And I think you're going to be doing things unhealthy. Or you might get the surgery, or you might do this, you might do that. You might, buy something from, the black market on the internet that promises all of that. So I don't suggest you make something so unreasonable that when you fail or when you don't get to the mark, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. So as long as they're reasonable, when you make the resolutions or you make your daily decisions, make them reasonable. So don't do too much. Don't do away with too much. Don't try to do too much. But every day, you can make a decision. And when you make a daily decision or a daily resolution, you're more likely to stick with it. And also, the ones that give you the most bang for your buck. In other words, you're saying, listen, this is reasonable. I could get to this goal in 2-3 weeks, 6 weeks, a month, 3 months. I could get to this goal if you stick to it day by day. And the only ones that give up are the ones that quit. And the only ones that quit are the ones who lose. So you'll win as long as you have something that's reasonable and you could attain that. If you could see it and you believe it, you could achieve it. So here's the list of the healthiest you, the 10 best ways, the top 10 ways to your healthiest life. Number 1, eat breakfast. Now, listen, I'm your free wellness coach here, and I have to be honest. I don't eat breakfast a lot. I'm not into breakfast. I used to be all about breakfast, man, but now I'm not into breakfast that much, but I'm changing that. But I'm changing it with a meal replacement. We'll get to that in a bit. Breakfast eaters are more likely to maintain a healthy weight. And breakfast will also help keep you clear-headed all morning. Understand that. And it also goes when you wake up in the morning. If you're a morning head, I'm not a morning head, but I try to wake up in the morning. Don't press your alarm. Get up. They say as soon as you hit the alarm, don't press snooze, but hit the stop, but get up. Once you get up off your bed, or, once you wake up and stand on your feet, scientists say, science don't say anything. Scientists say that when you get up, you start normalizing the flow in your body, with your blood and all that, your brain function, all that. Your brain needs fuel after an overnight fast. And listen, for those who say, I'm not down with the fast, listen, you fast every time you go to sleep. That's why they call breakfast break fast. You're breaking the fast after you were asleep with all that time without eating. So welcome to the fast. And I'm a big fan of intermittent fast, and I'm going to dedicate a podcast sooner or later directly to that intermittent fast. I've been doing that for years. Real quick, because I'm not here to talk about intermittent fast, but what it is that I eat 8 hours of the day, and then I take 14 hours off and eat the next day. So in other words, how I do it now, 10 o'clock p.m. is my cutoff, and I don't eat again till the next day till at 1 o'clock. So you have, those hours to let your body rest, digest, and all that. And it really makes a difference in your life. So number 1 is eat breakfast. Number 2 is move more. Move more. You know what I'm saying? Like, although we can't put a lot of pressure, especially if you have some health issues and you might not be as mobile as you would be, or like others would be, don't get too, deep into that either. But it's a good thing for you to keep in motion, keep your body in motion. So I would say move more, if you know what I'm saying, right? You move more. Aside from your regular exercise, which you should be having some kind of motion, some kind of regular exercise schedule, try to work more activity in your day. So you could take the stairs instead of taking the elevator, as long as you don't work or you don't live on the 10th, 11th floor. But you might try to take the stairs little by little. Maybe say, for instance, you live on the 10th floor, or your office is on the 10th floor, or your class is on the 10th floor. And maybe you want to walk 2 flights of steps up, then get on the elevator until you progress, right? Until you get better at it, and then you feel better, and then you go to the 3rd floor through the stairs and take the elevator, and so on and so on. So take the stairs, walk. Walking is life. One of my neighbors, I'm no lie, man, she walks 2 or 3 times daily. I mean, she walks miles. She always goes up my block, says hi to all the neighbors, and she just walks. Like, she'll walk. The other day, she told me, we had a big snowstorm, and she was out there walking. She told me she walked 10 miles. She's a walker, man, but she's fit. She's lean. She's a little older, but, she's lean and keeping that way because she's walking. So walking is gold. Bike errands, go on a bike to run your errands. Biking is good too. Pace the floor while you're on the phone. I do that all the time. Anyway, I'm always pacing back and forth. When I'm on a call, I'm walking back and forth. But that's a good thing. Pace the floor while you're on the phone, and walk to a coworker's office instead of emailing people. Instead of texting somebody in the next room, put the phone down, get up and say, hey, I need this, or I want to talk to you. My wife is notorious from texting me. If I'm in one room over, she'll text me. But we have an excuse. She has an excuse. We have a newborn baby. So at the time of this recording, our baby's 5 months. So she has an excuse. So love you, babe. So number 3. So that's number 2, move more. Number 3. And when you see the list on my podcast, it's going to look a little different. The little list here. But you'll get it. I'm not changing the order, but you'll get what I'm talking about as soon as you see what I'm talking about when you see the list on the podcast itself. And here it goes. So like a number 2, move more. I wrote move/active. So in other words, have more activity. Number 3, don't eat in front of a screen. No screen time eating. I'm going to tell you why. Whether it's the computer, I'm on the computer a lot. I'm a home business boss. I do a lot of work from home. I'm independent. Everything that I do, I don't work for nobody. So all the revenue or the income comes from my mind. Whatever I think, I do and activate, and that, gets income coming back. But what I mean about don't eat in front of the screen or no screen time eating is whether it's a computer, a TV, a movie screen. When you're eating in front of it, you're not focusing on your food. So basically, you're gobbling. So basically, you're likely to end up eating more and enjoying less. You're just stuffing your face. And you know what I'm talking about. So those people who are screen eaters, you're really stuffing your face. And I'm guilty of that when I go to the movies. Once upon a time when the movie theaters were open before the pandemic, right? Once upon a time when I was in movies, that big thing of popcorn, man, I could get into that while I'm watching the movie. That extra butter. Look at Wellness Coach again talking about unhealthy food. But, just pray for me because I'm not there yet. But I'm working on it. But in the meantime, let's work together so we could get to this healthiest time of our lives. So that was it. Stop eating on the run is number 4. That means this. Stop speed eating. Stop speed eating. Eating in the car, when you're walking down the street, running errands, or while you're getting dressed in the morning. Take time to sit down. Stop all of that. Take time to sit down, focus on your meal and enjoy. So that way when you're focused on eating, that time that you say, I don't got time. When you're running out the door, eating, you're stuffing your mouth. But when you're sitting down and focusing on the food, then you're taking it by pace. You're taking it easy. You're letting your body do what the body needs to do to digest that food. Number 5, watch the liquid calories. Be careful with them liquid calories. They are unstable calories. I know we've been bombarded with 100% juice, this drink, that drink. Listen, be careful. Unless your liquid is a meal replacement, fluids should be as low calorie as possible. That's why what I have here in the studio is a bottle of water. No calories, right? So get most of your calories from foods, not beverages, unless it's a meal replacement. It's one of the easiest ways to cut out excess calories. They've been telling me this for years because every now and then I'll go on a juice fast, right? So in those juices, it says on ingredients 100%, like if it's apple, 100% crushed apples, 100% this, 100% that. Then if you look closer, you look at the calories, you're like, wow, it's a lot of calories. And then it has its ascorbic acids and all that stuff. And then they put something in there to preserve the drink, more calories. And those calories are unstable. That's why if you notice, they say shake the bottle well or, shake container thoroughly because all those things that are in that bottle are unstable. And so are the calories. So number 5, be careful with liquid calories. Be very careful. Read the label. Read the information. If you're drinking orange juice, you know what the ingredients should be? Take a guess. Oranges. I'm just saying. Everything else that's in there, the additives, the preservatives, and all that stuff, those are unstable calories. So stay away from that. Number 6, stay hydrated. We all learned this while we were in school. Our gym teacher always tell us, drink lots of liquids, stay hydrated, drink water. Gatorade was the thing when I was growing up. That was the juice of the time for athletes. But stay hydrated. In other words, many of the body's processes rely on water, but plenty of people don't drink enough. And I'm one of them, and I'm working on it. Drink more water. I'm drinking more water. So keep water or tea near you and sip throughout the day. It's always good to have, the teas that we use in my wellness company and water on deck. I said on heck, didn't I? On deck. Put it on deck because it'll be in front of you. It's easy access. Water is the greatest thing. Even if I'm like with a friend or something like that and they want to, slide by a diner or whatever, and they want to drink soda or something like that. I don't really drink soda like that, but if I have to, I'll drink the clearest soda without the dyes and all that stuff, or tonic water. So stay hydrated. That'll do your body good. And trust me, when you get body pains, when you get strains for no reason, aches for no reason, and, it's tightness in your body, a lot of times that's due to not being hydrated. You're starving your body from liquid, from water. And we need to stop doing that. So stay hydrated. Number 7, include protein. Include protein every meal. Every time you eat, have some kind of protein. And that's why whether you're a vegetarian or not, in veggies, there are plant-based proteins that you could eat. I'm not a vegetarian, so I eat meats for protein, but there's other ways you could get protein in your body. Why? Because protein satisfies hunger better than fats or carbs. I could put a whole podcast just about that. I'm going to say it again. Proteins satisfies hunger better than fats or carbs. So have some at every meal and grab foods like yogurt, nuts, high protein cereals, shakes, string cheese, or single serve cans of tuna for snacks. And since I like all kinds of seafood, tuna is the thing for me. All right. So number 8. Number 8 is have a fruit or vegetable every meal. So eat fruits or veggies every meal. Why? Well, fruits and veggies give you the most nutrition for the fewest calories. And that's a bonus tip right there. You might be saying, wow, I like fruits. And a lot of people I know to this very day, they are so against vegetables for veggies, but they don't know that you can hook up vegetables real good. And to me, when I was a kid, I was a little struggling with the vegetables and all that stuff. But when I got older, I said, this is not too bad. As long as, saute it up real good, a little bit of salt, sea salt, a little bit of pepper, and you're good. For the most part, you can bake it. You could, elevate it to different levels, however you want to do it, however you want to cook it. You could eat it raw in its raw stage, however you want to do it. But veggies are good for your body. But make sure you have the veggies and the fruits in every meal. And also, they're full of water and fiber, which means they fill you up. They don't fill you out. They fill you up. They don't fill you out. Number 9, we're almost at the home stretch, right? Don't skip meals. A lot of people starve themselves and say, I'm on a diet. I'm not going to eat for, X amount of days. And then when you do start eating, you're putting your body in shock, number 1, if you don't ease into that type of diet. Listen, I don't believe in diet plans. I believe in meal plans. There's a difference. But some people skip meals because they think they're doing the body justice by saying, well, if I don't eat this, that, and the third, or if I don't eat these days, or if I skip 2 or 3 meals, that's going to do a body good. Actually, skipping meals rarely works as a calorie control measure. It rarely works. You'll just end up making up for it at the next meal. So you'll be like, I'm going to starve myself for X amount of meals. And then when I do get my meal in front of me, you'll probably have 2 or 3 plates. And guess what? That's 2 or 3 meals. So you're actually trying to psych your body out, but your body's like, no, I want more now. So eating small meals and snacks every few hours is the best strategy, or better strategy than skipping meals. Don't do it no more if you were doing it. Just my advice. Number 10, pump some iron. Strength training, exercise. And listen, at your own pace. Don't think you're Arnold Schwarzenegger. Don't think you're like an Olympian or Mr. Universe or something like that. However they call those people now in the weightlifting world. But don't think you're all of that if you're just getting back into training, or if you're just starting to get into training and all of that. So exercise, strength training is good. I do a lot of, when I do work out, is resistance training. It's not weights, it's, straps, things you pull on, your natural weight, I have the Total Gym in my crib. I'm not endorsing Total Gym, but I have it. It works for me, and it's body training, circuit training, and it uses your own body, and it really works for me to stay toned and tuned in to what my body wants and needs. So it also helps you build muscle. You could build mass. You could perk up your mood. You notice when you exercise and you're going, everything's going good with your exercise, you're walking, you're eating, your mood shifts into a better place. When you stop those things, sometimes your mood shifts to a bad place. So if you want to be in a better place, training exercise burns calories, right? Strength training, perk up your mood, helps you keep your bones strong, right? It also helps your body build muscle mass, which makes you stronger and ultimately increases your resting metabolic rate. In other words, your metabolism gets in order for your body style, your height and your weight, and for your BMI and all that good stuff. So that's all I have for you tonight. I hope this really helps you out. Make sure you go and get the free habit tracker that I have just for subscribing to the podcast. Follow me on Honey Facebook and all those other pages that I have all over the internet. Until the next time, we're going to see you on Healthier Options, Nutritional Insight, the podcast with Mr. Sam Lopez. Peace.